Hey everyone, this is a new technique that I kind of thought up that I'm going to teach you that works really good on clients with thinner hair. Um, it's similar to the braid-ins, but it's not as thick as the braids will be in the hair. So you're just going to start with a part at the nape of the neck, going from bottom of the ear to the other bottom of the other ear, and you're going to make a little part, and you're going to use these bead things that you use on when you do the individual micro beads. But I'm using blonde beads on my model so you can really see them, but if this was a real client, you'd use brown beads to match your hair, so that way they blend in really well. So to apply the bead, you're just going to take a small section of the hair, wrap the thread around it, and then thread the bead through the string. And then as you're pulling the bead down, you kind of pull on the string and the hair just goes right through the bead, and then the bead is on the hair. Then you use your extension pliers that you can get at a beauty store or an extension supply store to clamp the bead shut. And these beads are made of aluminum. They're pretty thick to the touch, and then it will stay very well. If you clamp it shut really good, you have to use a lot of muscle, that bead will stay. It is not going anywhere until you use the pliers again to loosen it and take it out. So then I measure my hair weft and sew the weft onto each beaded base. I poke the needle through the end of the weft and then begin sewing under and over through each beaded base. If you don't know how to sew these on, I have a tutorial video on sewing that walks you through the steps really good, and you can view that by clicking this little box that just popped up. And sorry about the notes on my hand. I don't look at anything else when I need a reminder, so I just write it on my hand. So right now I've kind of slowed down the video so you can see the sewing. That way hopefully you can avoid watching a whole other video, even though I want you to watch my videos. But yeah, so you kind of just put the thread through the loop and then sew like you normally would, under and over. So now you're just going to repeat that same process. Usually you do this on clients with really thin hair, so I only do 3 rows normally, but if you're doing it on a client with thick hair, you probably want to do 4 rows, just depending on their hair. You'll know when you see it. And you're just going to repeat the process. This time you're going to do a part from top of the ear to the other top of the ear, and then do the same thing. Then for the final track, you're going to do a part going from temple to temple. That way she can have some hair in the front, and you want to make sure to leave maybe about a 1/2 inch when you're doing your beads from the hairline. That way, if the wind blows or something like that, she doesn't have a trac popping out. You really don't want that. So right here you can see when she turns, I left maybe an inch to a 1/2 an inch from the hairline. And then you just repeat the process. So I've gotten a lot of requests on how I curl hair, so I figured I might as well just throw this one in here. I know it's kind of random, but I was recording, so I was like, hey, why not? And so this is how I curl my hair. I use a high straightener. I swear by this straightener. It's the best straightener of all time. I like it better than cheese. I like it better than any of the new titanium straighteners you'll get. It's my favorite one, and it takes a lot of practice to do this. It took me a long time to get my technique down. I can't really explain how to do it. It's just you gotta feel it out for yourself. You kind of just wrap the hair around the straightener and then curl as you move down. You have to have the perfect amount of tension, but then you also have to make it loose enough so the straightener can move through the hair, and that's the hardest thing to learn when you're practicing this. So if you want to straighten hair, or I mean curl hair like this, just practice a lot, or you can just get a huge curling iron. But I'm just not a fan of curling irons. I find it to be smoother and prettier when you use a straightener. So this is how I curl hair. If you or anyone you know wants to get this extensions process done, I do this, and you can go to my website and look at my prices section, and you'll also see a bunch of other types of extensions I do. I have an option for everyone and every type of hair. So thank you for watching, and I hope you give me a good rating.